Welcome back to Life and Doctrine. Today we're going to go over Psalm 13. Here's what it says. How long, O Lord, will you forget me forever? How long will you hide your face from me? How long must I take counsel in my soul and have sorrow in my heart all the day? How long shall my enemy be exalted over me? Consider and answer me, O Lord my God. Light up my eyes, lest I sleep the sleep of death. Lest my enemies say, I have prevailed over him. Lest my foes rejoice because I am shaken. But I have trusted in your steadfast love. My heart shall rejoice in your salvation. I will sing to the Lord because he has dealt bountifully with me. This is a psalm where David asks some pretty hard questions of God. So, very beginning here, how long, O Lord, will you forget me forever? Part of the purpose of our emotions is to drive us to the Lord. And so what we see here, did the Lord actually forget him? Or has the Lord forgotten him forever? The answer to that's no, but this is the way that David feels. And so part of what's helpful about this passage is that we see David's emotion, and what is he doing with that? He's coming to the Lord and bringing it to the Lord. That God knows everything, and so he knows what you're thinking, he knows what you're feeling anyway. And so this is a good practice to bring this before the Lord in prayer, rather than just working on it yourself. It's like, let's take this to the Lord and set this before him. So this is the way that David feels. He feels like God's forgotten him. He feels like the Lord is hiding his face from him. He's wondering, how long is this going to take? How long must I take counsel in my soul and have sorrow in my heart all the day? So he's in a sorrowful, grieved state. Part of that is because at the end of verse 2, how long shall my enemy be exalted over me? So he's looking around and he's seeing his enemies being exalted in some way. And so he's crying out to God for answers. Consider and answer me, O Lord my God. This is how I feel. Can you provide some answers? Yeah, he says, light up my eyes, lest I sleep the sleep of death. So God is someone who is able to light up our eyes. The very first thing that God did in creation, he said, let there be light, and there was light. And you see that in the physical sense in creation. God is continuing to do that in the lives of unbelievers, where he brings light to darkness. He takes us out of darkness and into the light, and he provides a resurrection of our soul, of our spirit, giving our spirit new life. And he's also, in the midst of our sorrow, he's able to provide us with light in our eyes, able to see what God's doing, see his glory in circumstances, see his glory in life, that we wouldn't just be looking at our circumstances in a woe is me type of way, but seeing a broader picture of, okay, God's doing something here I don't understand, but he's getting glory and he is good, and so I can trust you. And this is where he goes, verse 5, but I have trusted in your steadfast love. So my heart shall rejoice in your salvation. God is a God who is not only worthy of our trust, but deserving of our trust. He's completely righteous and holy and true, and in control and good. And he's working all things out for his glory and for our good. And so we can trust him in that. And that's part of that question of light up my eyes, is so that we helps us to see that and have that perspective. And so, and then the very last verse here, I will sing to the Lord. So he's gone from, at the very beginning, how long, O Lord, will you forget me forever? He's worked through this in his prayer. He's asked the Lord to light up his eyes. And at the very end, he rests in the trust of God's steadfast love, and he's rejoicing in salvation from the Lord. And this is moving towards then worship. I will sing to the Lord because he has dealt bountifully with me. And God is a giver of good gifts. He provides salvation for those who repent and believe, and also provides us with all sorts of things that we don't deserve. He's dealt bountifully with us. That God is overflowing his grace and mercy and joy and provision onto his people. We see that the sun rises and sets on the righteous and the wicked, and it's the gracious, bountiful blessing of God giving to mankind. And so we can rejoice in that, specifically in salvation, but also in the ways that he deals bountifully with us. And so part of a challenge for you today, as you think about your life and doctrine, so when you have those moments where it feels like, man, how long, O Lord? Will you forget me forever? There's moments that we feel like that. Bring that to the Lord. He can handle that. He can handle those questions. And as you bring that to the Lord, at the same time, ask him to give light to your eyes so that you can see his glory and what he's doing. And remember the salvation that he has provided to you. And as you do that, you're going to be able to sing and worship because of the grace and the good gifts that God has given you, specifically in your salvation. And you're going to see how God has dealt bountifully with you. And so remember today to keep a close watch on your life and doctrine.